Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, a new season finally here. We had the great one Thursday night. All sorts of intrigue in the games yesterday, and now we put a bow on this first weekend with a good one here tonight.
We do put a spotlight on key games, don't we? Even key nights. Thursday night has become a spotlight night. How about Sunday night? But there still is some magic to playing on Monday night, and these two teams are feeling it.
Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And we are underway on a Monday night. This is taken at his 4. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. So here are the 49ers now with a long field ahead. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
They run with Breida. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Break that. 54 miles. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 46 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll run with Lynch, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson sliding out of the pocket. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Lynch. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And that'll be caught by the tight end. It's Ed Dixon with a Seahawk touchdown. Ed Dixon there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This will be taken short, and he's going to go out of bounds on the return. He won't even get this thing back to the 10-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Here we go. 180! Walk 54. Go! White.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, here's Breida. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the 25 on 2nd down, Garoppolo into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll roll them out right. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good to make it 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one a first down pickup of 8. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo gives to Breda. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now it's Lockett. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Dancing to his left. Completes it to Dixon. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Check 56. And let's pin the mirrors back and go forward.
first and 10. It's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. DK Metcalf, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Well, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he's into the clear. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 28-0. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better than that.
We'll find out. A gain there of 21 yards. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team, and they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Play action, Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
He'll have a first down inside the 10. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. 25 yards to the house. And the 49ers get a score closer. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Check three. Alert.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Lynch. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now it's Wilson. Short throw to Disley. That throw good for 4. It's second down. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about him getting it done? Proud of him.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson, he's going to get this out to Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
I'm coming after you.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lynch. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll run with Lynch, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson steps away to his left, and he's going to keep it here. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive game. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. It's caught by Sanders. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. Garoppolo now. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11. Check down to Breida. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here we go. 21, 21. Let's go, let's go. 49, check 49, check 49.
To throw again on second down. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. They can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So the victory here for Seattle. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the front first whistle.
Yeah, now I'm listening to you. So for the Seahawks, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcaster.